Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, however you want to say it, they said, كان يفتي والصحابة أحياء. He used to give fatwa whilst the companions were alive. That's the level he reached in knowledge. The reason why he was able to give fatwa, Islamic rulings, fatwa, is because of the caliber he reached in knowledge. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, he married the daughter of Abu Hurairah. He married the daughter of Abu Hurairah. The reason why he married her was because she had great knowledge. She had a lot of narrations that she took from her father. She possessed a lot of knowledge. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib could have married any woman he wanted from the women of Quraysh. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, I'll tell you guys a story about him. The Amir of the Mu'mineen of that time, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, made a decision to come to Hajj. Abdul Malik ibn Marwan made a decision that he's going to come to Hajj that year. And in order for him to come to Hajj, he felt that he wanted to go through Medina. And Medina was the place that Sa'id Musayyib was located in. He's, by the way, one of the 7 fuqaha, one of the 7 jurists of Medina, who the fatwa of Medina revolves around. So Abdul Malik ibn Marwan made the decision to go to Hajj, and he said, I'm going to go through Medina, I'm going to spend some time there, I am going to visit the Prophet's masjid, and then going to go Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. Of course, he's the leader of the Muslims. So from his route from Sham until he makes it to Medina, everybody who finds out that the Amir al-Mu'mineen is taking this route, they all put a tent for him, food, they serve him. Of course, they all want to invite them into their house. Until he reaches Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, the city of Medina. And when he comes to the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the masjid had ulama and people of knowledge in the masjid teaching. One halaqa is the halaqa of Urwa ibn Zubair. The other halaqa is Sa'id ibn Musayyab. The other halaqa is another alim, Abdullah ibn Utbah, and others. The Prophet's masjid is full of the senior tabi'een who are teaching and educating the people. Abdul Malik ibn Marwan came to the city of Medina. He went to sleep, qaylula. He woke up for Salatul Dhuhr, and then he requested that he called onto his servant. His name was Maysara. He said, Maysara, come here. Maysara came. Abdul Malik ibn Marwan said to him, he said, Labbayka ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. I'm here to obey you, or the rule of the Muslims. What do you want from me? He said, what I want you to do is to go to the Prophet's masjid. And when you go to the Prophet's masjid, get me one of those scholars who are there in the masjid to me and bring them to me so that they can give me knowledge and I can benefit from them in my stay here. So Maysara goes and he goes to the Prophet's masjid. When he goes to the Prophet's masjid, he sees Sa'id ibn Musayyab sitting, teaching the people. He gives a signal to Sa'id ibn Musayyab and he says to him, Sa'id carries on his lecture and his dars. When he finishes, he said, did you not see that I waved at you? Sa'id said, I did. He said, what do you want from me? He said that the ruler of the Muslims is calling you and he's telling you to come to him so that you can narrate to him. Sa'id said, rahimahullah ta'ala, al-ilmu yu'ta wa la ya'ti. Knowledge, you come to it. If you want knowledge, you come to knowledge. Knowledge doesn't come to you. If you want to learn, if he wants to learn, he can come, the halaqah, just like everybody else, sit down and benefit and take the knowledge. Maysara went back and he told Abdul Malik ibn Marwan what he came across. Abdul Malik ibn Marwan automatically knew who that person was. He said, Hada Sa'id ibn Musayyab. That is who? Hada Sa'id ibn Musayyab. That is Sa'id ibn Musayyab. Then the children of Sa'id ibn Musayyab started to discuss amongst themselves, how dare this individual does not come to the ruler of the Muslims. Now, this is not by no way Sa'id ibn Musayyab disobeying the Muslim ruler. La abadan. And it is not a form of rebellion, but it's to respect knowledge and the inheritance of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and venerating knowledge. Okay? Sa'id ibn Musayyib, from this perspective, he's looking at knowledge. Anyone who wants to learn it, not him, it's not him, it's the knowledge. That has to be respected. That has to be honored, regardless of who the person is. Why? Because this is whose inheritance? The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The same way no one can say to the Prophet, come here. It's the same way you won't say to the Prophet, come to me. You can't say to his narrations, should come to me. Are we all together, brothers? So Sa'id radiyallahu ta'ala, rahimahullahu ta'ala, Abdul Malik's sons, his two sons, started to discuss amongst themselves, how dare this man does this? Who does he think he is? So one of the sons of Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, he tells and he informs him, he says, do you not know what Sa'id ibn Musayyab did to your brother Walid? He said, what did he do to him? He said, do you not know that Dad, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, requested for the daughter of Sa'id ibn Musayyab for Al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, and that he refused? Who refused? Sa'id Musayyib, he refused to give his daughter to Abdul Malik, Al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik ibn Marwan's daughter, for him to marry his daughter. Yani Sa'id Musayyib's daughter, not to marry Al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. And Sa'id Musayyib mentioned why he didn't want to. He said, I nurtured my daughter upon bread and water. I raised her, taught her the simplicity of life. I raised her to turn away from the dunya and to face towards the akhirah. I made her memorize the Quran at a very young age. I made her learn and learn and learn. How would I be as a father if I handed her over to Bani Umayyah and she lived with them in their qusur and their castles and palaces, and she has servants and maids that serve her, and she sees the dunya and she forgets the akhirah? What would I be as a father? But what did he do? Sa'id ibn Musayyab. Sa'id, when Al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik ibn Marwan came for his daughter, or wanted to marry Sa'id Musayyib's daughter, Sa'id Musayyab had one of his students who came to the halaqah. Sa'id, as soon as the request came, he was looking to marry his daughter off somebody else. One of his students, who was a mulazim, consistent student, wouldn't miss a class. He would not miss a what? A class. Every lesson he's there. Just happened to miss a few lessons. Sa'id asked about him. Where is Fulan? Why is he not here? They said to him, he has, no one knows what his situation is. The student came back. Sa'id said to him, where have you been? I haven't seen you for the last few days. He said, the reason you never saw me is because my wife passed away. She died, and we had to bury her, pray janazah on her. Sa'id said, why did you not inform me? I would have come. He said, Sa'id, for 40 years, you've never taken any other distance except your house to the masjid to the house. For 40 years, Sa'id Musayyab, Takbiratul Ihram, Allahu Akbar, he never missed it. For 40 years, Sa'id Musayyab never saw the neck of someone from the back in the prayer. He was always at the front line. And he never prayed on the second or the third line in the masjid. Are we all together? So he said, I never thought to myself that you would come. He said, I would have come. This is a good deed. He said, now that you have no wife, do you want to marry? He said, who would marry me off? I'm faqir, I have nothing. And I'm an orphan. And I was an orphan, yateem. So nobody would marry any woman to me. So that was my chance. And now Sa'id said, I want to marry my daughter off to you. He said, are you joking with me, Said? Because no, I really want to marry my daughter off to you. So Sa'id, rahimahullah ta'ala, what he did was he married, he called him, he did the nikah for him, married his daughter off to him, and he said, go to your house. And the student went to his house, and the same night Sa'id came, knocked on the door. He said, wa hajab. No one's ever seen Sa'id change his route. Masjid house, masjid house. He was shocked. Sa'id Musayyib knocking on my door. One of the most knowledgeable men on the earth that day. With him is his daughter, who memorized the book of Allah. Thousands of narrations that she had memorized from her father. And he married her off to his student. Sa'id rahimahullah ta'ala was a man who turned away from the dunya, never saw anything in his dunya. Akhirah was what was in his mind and his heart. Muli'a ilman, filled with knowledge, high integrity. Kutub al-Hadith, Bukhari, Muslim, Abi Dawud, Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, Nasa'i, Muwatta, Malik, Musnad Ahmad. The books of Hadith, his narrations are full of it. He spent his life teaching, educating, and rectifying his own actions. He was between ilm and amal. He was what? Between ilm and what? And amal.